I had an Uncle Wilfred who was kind of an old cowboy, and he had told me once that he had met Will James. Because he cowboyed here and south into Montana, and that's probably where Will James's territory was at one time. And he had said he had made his acquaintance somehow. Then cowboys didn't really talk about their lives too much. They just were on a friendly basis, and whether he chummed with them or not, I have my doubts. But I do know Wilfred did chum with Jimmy Goodry, who worked in the old 76 ranch at Malta, Montana. So, well, I'm not too sure just how it went, but I do know that when they were here, I think they did a little bit of partying here and there, and you know how cowboy parties are. They tend to, you know, one thing leads to another, but Wilfred was no exception, and neither was Will James, I guess. So whether they had some trouble in that regard, I have no idea, but it was told that when he passed through here, there were some wild times, I guess. Wilfred never mentioned anything. He just said he had been acquainted with him at one time or another, and possibly through his work. Wilfred was cowboy through and through, and so was a few of the other guys. And whether they met on the trail or where they met at the old 76, I don't know. But it was just a passing acquaintance, and that's what he said. He had known Will James. Whether the acquaintance was made here or somewhere else, I'm really not sure. But there was no real big stories that Wilfred had told me about him. Just said that he did know him, and that's what he talked about. But he very briefly mentioned that, yeah, I knew that guy.
Well, you might have noticed that, like any good cowboy, Johnny was fairly discreet and cautious talking about Will James, which is all to his honor. At the same time, there are strong possibilities that Will James did come to Willow Bunch. The rumor would have been that he got in trouble with a certain group of citizens because he was too wild with their young women. And that would correspond to the darker side of Will James, the darker period in his life when he was losing the Rocking Our Ranch and his wife as well. He would disappear for weeks and weeks at the time, being totally drunk. So it would make sense that he could have come here for nostalgic reasons, maybe, or possibly to meet some old friends or to relive memories. And another possibility is that Uncle Wilfred and Jimmy Goodry might have been some of the guys who helped calming Will James down. But we will, of course, never know for sure.